problems. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay down. The side that you're stretching, in this case my right leg, is going to cross over your opposite side. You're going to put one hand on top of your knee, the other hand over your ankle, and then you're slowly going to pull toward your opposite shoulder until you feel a stretch right through your glutes here. You should not feel a pinch in the front of your thigh. If you do feel a pinch, you might need to stretch your hip flexors first. If you get into this position and you don't feel a stretch, you can try raising up your opposite leg, grab behind your thigh, and then pull forward, and that'll help give you a more intense stretch. You want to hold the stretch 30 seconds to a minute, and that's your piriformis stretch.
What you're going to do is firm your leg up and cross it in the number 4, and then take a seat back, and my arms are coming forward just to help me with balance. But my foot is flat on the floor. I'm sitting back and I'm stretching this bent leg. So this is the hip that's getting the work. And this is one of the best ways to get to it. I'm also doing a little challenging with that weight-bearing leg. Now, if your balance is not so great, obviously standing with a chair or doing that toward a wall is also another good option. You will find when you come down that you're easily able to compare one of your legs to the other one, and you'll find probably that you're not perfectly symmetrical. That's okay, but that's a red flag for you, and a reason to pay attention to maybe stretch this one twice, which happens to be my tighter leg. So I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to that until I catch up and then become a little bit more in balance. I'm Deb Atkinson. That's been your Fit Tip of the Week.
And so from this position, I'm going to do my right side first, which means I'm going to bring my right leg up. I'm going to tuck this right foot behind my left knee. I'm going to put that right knee on the ground. I'm going to roll my whole body that side, take my left hand on top of my right knee, raise my right arm, and come down like this so that I try to touch my shoulder to the ground. Okay, now you won't be able to do that in the beginning, but you may over time be able to do that, okay? You may even feel a crack or a pop in your back, which is totally fine, and actually will feel very good. It'll give the discs more space, really loosen things up back there. So I want you to hold each side for 20 seconds. So for the sake of the video, I'm not going to hold it for 20 seconds. I'm going to come back to center. Now I'm going to do the other side. Extend the right leg, okay? Drop the left knee over with the left foot behind the right knee. Right hand holds the left knee. Left arm goes up, comes back this way, and breathe deep, okay? I want you to hold that side for 20 seconds as well. Then after you've done it for 20 seconds, come back to center. I want you to then center everything by bringing up both knees and holding there, okay? Now, you may not be able to come this far. You may only be able to go this far, which is fine. Just pull, and whatever's comfortable for you, that's what I'd like for you to do, okay? So...
Lie on the exercise mat with your back straight and your legs flat. Bend the affected leg and place the foot near the opposite knee. With your opposite hand, pull the knee of the affected leg across the midline of your body until you feel a stretch. Make sure you don't lift your shoulder and hips off the exercise mat. It's also important not to pull the knee beyond the stretch or to the floor. Position your hands and knees on the exercise mat. In order to stretch the piriformis of the affected leg, bring that foot underneath your trunk. At this point, the knee of your affected leg is on the outside of your trunk. Slowly stretch the non-affected leg out behind you, but keep your pelvis straight. Keep your affected leg in place and push your hips slightly toward the floor. Slowly come down on your forearms and lean on them. You will feel a stretch in the affected leg.
This will be the first position where you want to hang out for about 2 or 3 minutes and make a conscious effort to remove tension in your lower back. So you do not want to be flexing your glutes at all. You need your entire body to relax in order for this exercise to work. After hanging out in position 1 for a few minutes, you can move on to position 2. You're going to place your elbows under your shoulders so that you lean on your forearms. And during this exercise, take a few deep breaths, letting all of the muscles in your lower back relax. You should remain in this position for 2 to 3 minutes as well. After you finish exercise 2, you can move on to exercise 3, where you place your hands under your shoulders into the press-up position. You're going to push the top half of your body up as far as the pain permits. And again, make sure you relax your pelvis, hips, and legs. Keep your pelvis, hips, and legs hanging limp and allow your low back to sag. Some people may not be able to hold their body weight up with their arms, and their shoulders and triceps may tire out. If that's the case, you can remain on your elbows and continue the same exercise done in position number 2. If you're not responding from these exercises or the pain worsens from where it initially started, do not continue to do these exercises.
Thing is, we want to cross the leg like this, and some of you may look like this when you cross the leg, depending on your hip capsule and how tight it is, but regardless, just let it fall as much as it'll fall. And the most important thing is to keep a nice flat back. And let me turn sideways here so you can see what I mean by that. The things I've been seeing online as good exercises for this, they tell you to stretch like this, and that rounds your back. That doesn't do anything for your hips. If you just keep a nice flat back, get up on your sit bones, and just simply bring your chest forward slightly while keeping a flat back, you will immediately feel it throughout the hip on the side where the leg is crossed. And that is going to stretch not only your piriformis, but also stretch the posterior capsule, what's called the posterior capsule of your hip. And that is an important capsule to have loose, because that's what allows you to be able to sit down in a proper manner like so. If you don't have a loose posterior capsule, then you're not going to be able to stick your tail out and sit down comfortably. Okay, you're going to sit down and go, and when you do that, you slam your joints together, you slam your discs together, and you do damage every time you get up and down out of a chair, in and out of a car. So again, let's do the other leg this time. You're going to let it go as far as you can, and you're going to sit up nice and tall, and you're going to get on those sit bones, those butt bones, and you're going to keep your back nice and flat, and just very simply shift forward with absolutely no movement in the back. All of the movement comes from the ball and socket joints of your hips. And you can just hold it, take a couple of breaths there, and after the second breath, just as you exhale, just try and drift a little further. And you'll feel a nice stretch come through. This is going to alleviate a lot of hip pain, a lot of low back pain, and maybe even some knee pain by virtue of some of the connections the knee has with the hip. So, there you have it. Just watch out for the shysters out there who are giving you things that are actually going to damage you. If you do this with a disc problem, if you do this kind of stretch with a disc problem, you're only going to make it worse. So.